In this video, I'm going to show how to activate for the first time the epitweetr pipelines and the different tasks, in this case using a Windows machine. So once we have installed the prerequisites, we have installed epitweetr, selected our folder and launched the Shiny app. As you may have seen in the other video, we went through the different tabs, including the troubleshoot and configuration to set up all the different aspects to our needs and also to ensure that everything was ready for epitweetr to start working. So in order to activate the task the first time, we can click on activate. You will see if you try with the first one that it says, please activate requirements and alert task. This is because we need to first activate the requirements and alert in order to be able to launch the database and to start collecting tweets. So we go to requirements and alerts, and you see that we got a prompt window that is showing this task is running. And if we go into our Shiny app, we saw that there were the 3 tasks pending. And it starts with the dependencies. You will see that at some point it will ask you to activate the embedded database, which is this pipeline, and it also tells you how to do it, not only using this feature of the Windows machine, but also in case you want to use it with an another R window. So we can proceed, we activate this, and now we see that we have 2 from Windows. You can see them here for the 2 pipelines that are being running. It will take some seconds until epitweetr understands that this database is running. It requires a bit of time to launch it. And then once this is changed to running, as you can see here, the 3 tasks will proceed. These 3 tasks are only required to be done once, unless there's a new version of GeoNames you want to download, or in case you want to take not only the simplified database, but the full database, or in case you want to add or delete any of the vector languages. For this task, please consider that it will take some time, and the time depends on the speed and the capacity of the different machines. And it's also important to understand that if for whatever reason the computer or the machine is turned off or the windows are closed, these ones that we have here, it means that this process will stop and you will need to restart the task that was doing again. So it's really important to ensure when you do this that you can leave the computer running for a bit of time, and also that you don't close these windows. You can notice here that after some time, the message that appears may change. Now is indexing. And as I say, the time required will really depend on the capacity of the machine. In the meantime, what we can check is the task scheduler. As I mentioned, this is applicable for the Windows machine. And here you can see among the different tasks that we have that there's the detect loop that says that is running. And there's the fs loop, which is the epitweetr embedded database that is also running. We haven't activated yet the search loop. In case you run this for the first time, you may not see this task yet, and it will appear when we can activate it. We can see now that after some minutes, the task GeoNames has finalized, which means that this database has been downloaded and is ready for epitweetr to be used for the corresponding functionalities. Now it has started to download the different languages. It will start by alphabetical order, which in our case, the first one is English, and then we have 3 more to add. As mentioned, these languages can be modified as needed by the users, meaning you can have completely different languages, you can have more languages, some of these and others, and you can even also include new vector languages if you prefer in the file for the languages as well by adding new files. So as I say, it has started with English, then it will go to French, Portuguese, and finally to Spanish, and then it will do some processes to index and embed these in the different files. As you see here, after 1 or 2 minutes, it's moving to the next language. As I say, and I want to reiterate this, please consider that the speed of the download for all these tasks and the finalization will really depend on the capacities of the different machines. And in case there was something wrong happening, instead of running, you would have here in the status failed or aborted if it has had several failed status. So you can also see if it's running, which means that you will need to wait until it's finalized, or if there are any issues that had aborted the task. And in those cases, you will also receive the message on what was the reason for that. You can see now that also after another minute is downloading Portuguese. And then, as mentioned, we will have one more language and then additional steps to finalize this task. As you can see here, now it is updating the training set and indexing, which would be the last step before these 3 tasks are finalized, and we can, after all these downloads, start the task to start doing the data collection and processing. Now you can see that the task in languages started at 11:26 and it ended at 46, so around 20 minutes, and it has started with the alerts. Please consider that the first time you may get an error here because this can only run after tweets have been collected, geolocalized, aggregated, and the signal detection algorithm has been checked if there's any alert. So I will check to see if we can see it here. If not, it's as simple as running here, clicking on run alert again, once you have some tweets and aggregations, and it will work. So now that we have these 2 pipelines running and completed, we can go with the last one, which is the search, the Twitter collection. We can click again on activate. And it says here, you also need to provide your Twitter credentials because as you can see, the other parts are completed. So then we can go down. In this case, I have selected the Twitter authentication app version 1.1 and 2. And I need to click on Save Settings. We can try again, and the window will appear as it happened with the other 2 pipelines. So now we have all the 3 tasks that are running. I also want to explain here that there's an option in case of using virtual machines that you can ensure that the tasks are running even though you are not connected. You will need to refresh this, and we can see now the 3 tasks. So for example, if I select the search loop task, I right click, properties, run whether user is logged on or not. I click OK. It will ask for my credentials. I click OK. And now it means that even if I'm out of this virtual machine that I'm using for this video, or other users enter, which means that I cannot be actively in this virtual machine, it will still running. This is not, again, applicable in case the machine is completely shut down.